Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. I double honor to the apostles who rule well at Great Millstone. Salutations to the men that push this word in sincerity and in all truth. And I say Shalom. Basically, the entitlement of this video is, as you can see right there, Phillipians 2 and verse 12. I was just driving here and I was studying. When we came into this truth, everything was laid out on the table for us. We understanding. That is one of the reasons why we end up in this truth. Because we understood what was being taught us. Our spirit, the word resonated our spirit. You see? Because the scriptures say, the word that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the word was life unto the nation of Israel, unto us, unto the elect, the hopeful elect. Right? And when we heard these words, we were transformed in our mind, we were baptized in our mind, and to either who might be the camp leader or a brother in the camp, who made us convert to the spirit. They showed us that, hey, this is a thing that you have to work for. The kingdom, the heavenly kingdom is something you have to work for. Right? You could read that in the book of second Ezra 7. In order for you to get something, you have to do something. Nothing don't come easy. And to men who I believe I could do more. I'm supposed to be doing more. And I'm working on that. But to men the brothers who just willfully doing fucking bullshit then, you know where you're in, right? By now you're supposed to know where you're in. You know what I mean? So you come like you're willfully doing shippiness. Scripture say give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Right? So that diligence is you working hard, doing this work, right? Preaching. We know that. Being brotherly, right? You're supposed to know that. Nobody had to tell you that. Coming out and doing the works, yeah, you're supposed to know that. Nobody's supposed to tell you that. Orders being given, your homework, your videos, right? You know that. You're supposed to do that. And etc. Being a part of this. And everything is done in sincerity. Right? So I was just thinking that, hey, you don't have to be behind a brother telling a man, hey, they had to do. Or why you ain't do this, boy? Or how come you ain't come to works, boy? Or nah, no brother ain't had to tell nobody to do that. I mean, yeah, you're looking out for a man, but if you looking out for yourself, fuck you. Fuck you if you're not looking out for yourself. I mean the song, like if I or whatever, but I just I drive in here and I'm thinking and I like nobody had to be telling you, hey, this, that, because all of these grown men, right? You have a little trend in this thing. No, I don't have a little trend in this thing. And even the kids, it have I think it's GMS Babe or something like this sort. And they do what they do it. They do the videos to the best of their ability, whatever the case might be. The thing about it is, you know what you're supposed to do. That is the whole thing. You're supposed to, you know what you're supposed to do. Just do it. Just do it. That shit ain't supposed to be so hard. Each of us have things we had to work on. Working on it, but the average or the I put it like, hey, the norm is do your videos, right? You go there and do the works. That's supposed to be like that's supposed to then be normal to you. Book of Phillipians chapter 2 and verse 12. It says, wherefore my brethren, it says, wherefore my beloved, as ye have also obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Much more in my absence. Right? Because you being a servant of the Lord, you know, like the disciples. The disciples obeyed Yahushua when they was with him. Right? But to know that a servant is very obedient, he go do what you told him to do when you're not there. Right? Like Matthew 25. The versions. You see? You will do what you tell him to do when you're not there. When you're not around, it's supposed to be like if he did. Like if your master did. Right? But also in my absence, it says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And I want to get in my sword in a different translation, right? Because a lot of men like the world are meant to work out their salvation for them. Right? Let's pause this for a second. So like, yeah. Right, Philippians 2. I read the BBE version. It says, so then my beloved, so then my loved ones, as you have at Selak, hold on. Yeah, it says, so as you have at all times done what I say, not only when I am present, but now much more when I am not with you. Give yourself to working out your salvation with fear in your heart. With fear in your heart. Right? With fear in your heart. Next version, it says, so my friend, that I loved you too much, obey God. When I was with you, you always obeyed. Now that I am not with you, that is even more important. You add that God has worked to save from results of sin, and you must live as people like that should live. You must be very careful to obey God always. You should be afraid not to do that. You must remember that He is. He said, like, yeah, I was just, kind of drive and thing same time, but you should be afraid not to do that. You must remember that He is very great and very powerful. Right? ISV, it says, and so my dear friends, just as you have always obeyed, not only when I was with you, but even more now that I am absent. Continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Right? So yeah, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. This is nothing that somebody had to continue. Hey, you've been taught what to do. Well, do it. Nobody had to come and tell you, hey, you had to do the works, you had to do this, you had to do that. Nah. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So, brothers, you shouldn't be getting at nobody again and telling them what to do. If you want salvation, you know exactly what you need to do to get salvation. You know exactly what you need to do to get salvation. Right? Romans 12. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto power, O God, which is your reasonable service. So that's your reasonable service. You see? You know, so you're not rich and work here. So I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yashai, Bashim Akakodash. You know, hopefully this video is edifying. Shalom to you, to the elect.